Hey friends, Kent Marts here on a beautiful Wednesday. Today is First Light Chronicles. Thanks for joining us. We really hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be talking to people who want to start doing amateur astronomy. The entry level into this hobby is not nearly as steep as you think it might be. You can get a great telescope for not a whole lot of money, and we're going to talk about how to do that. And this show is a warm-up for our Amazon live broadcast that comes on.
How do you like the purple back there?
2 o'clock. How you like the what?
The purple.
Oh, I like that over on that one telescope.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's got a purple gel on it. Thought it looked pretty good.
I'm going to put a blue one on the other one.
Oh, then we'll have blurple.
No, it matches the background.
Perlu.
See the nebulae behind you.
But it's purple and blue combined to be purple.
Right, but it's more purple on the left or your right.
Purple.
And then it's more blue over there. See? If you look.
White. So there you go.
It's blue.
So we're going to be doing a warm-up for the Amazon live broadcast here in a few minutes at 2 o'clock Central Time every Monday through Friday. Now, next week, we will not have shows on Monday or Tuesday in the afternoons because the studio is going to be taken up by doing other broadcasts for some vendors, and we won't be able to do the broadcast. We were doing stuff showing vendors what's
maybe.
going on. What do you mean, maybe?
Talk to Ben.
Okay. So I did, but we'll go from there. All right. So anyway, we're going to start today by talking about eyepieces. Eyepieces are the things that make telescopes work, or you can make an argument that telescopes make eyepieces work, but we're going to start with the eyepieces first. We have our 52-degree eyepieces. These are great eyepieces. They're our least expensive eyepieces. They have the same workmanship as our more expensive eyepieces. They're argon purged, waterproof, fully edge blackened, multi-lens system. They have a 52-degree apparent field of view, which makes it the smallest field of view, and by being the smallest field of view, it has less glass and fewer elements. Therefore, it's less expensive than the more expensive eyepieces that we have out there. I have an example of the spread. I believe there's 9 different eyepieces in this family. I have 4 of them here. I have starting with the 40 millimeter eyepiece. I always start with the biggest number first because that biggest number right here, the 40, means it has the least magnification, because magnification is a division function. So it's the focal length of the telescope divided by the number on the eyepiece. That means if it was 1,000 millimeter focal length, 40 will go into 1,000 25 times. So it has a 25 power. If we use the same focal length with the 20 millimeter 20 millimeter waterproof eyepiece in the 52-degree series, it goes from 25 to 50, because 25 will go into 100 50 times. 20. It's a 20 millimeter eyepiece. 20 will go into 1,000 50 times. The next eyepiece up is a 10. See what's happening here? 25, 50, 100. This is a 4.5. I'm just going to use 5 millimeters for easy math. That would be 200 power, 200 times what you see. That works for any telescope. It's the focal length divided by the diameter of the eyepiece. Now, you can see that this 40-degree eyepiece is just a little bigger, really a lot bigger, than its neighbor, the 20. That's because the 40 millimeter goes on a 2-inch barrel, so it goes on a bigger telescope, and the 20 millimeter is smaller. So when you're buying eyepieces from Explore Scientific, use a little bit of caution, making sure the eyepiece will fit your telescope. If you're going to have one of the telescopes we have here today, the 20 millimeter would be a place to start, with the 25, making sure they have 1.25-inch barrels, not 2-inch barrels right here. That will make sure the eyepiece will fit on your telescope. That's a little bit of information you have to have. So, I'm going to put these back up, put the dust covers on, and we're going to talk about the telescope I have here right now. By the way, we have a chat function. Pekka has already jumped in. Hello, Pekka. Howdy, Kent, and everyone. Good to have you with us, Pekka. Thanks for the shout out here on the social media broadcast, warming up for the Amazon Live. So we have right here next to me, barely in the frame, so I didn't move the box table over. So I'm going to do this very surreptitiously so nobody will notice. See, you didn't even see me do it. There we go. This is the First Light 80 millimeter, meaning it has an 80 millimeter objective lens. It has a focal length of 640 millimeters. We sell a lot of these telescopes for people who are starting out. They're small, lightweight, easy to use. They don't have a huge magnification, which is a good thing because more magnification makes things harder to see in the sky. So if you start out with, and here's what it comes with the diagonal. So light comes out of the telescope, hits the diagonal. There's a mirror down in here, right? See, there's a mirror. Light comes in, hits the mirror, comes out here. That's where the eyepiece goes. Let's tighten this back up so it won't come off. There we go. Put the 25 millimeter super plossel in here. Super plossel describes how the lenses are assembled inside. And it comes with a red dot finder scope. That red dot finder scope is right here. I'll take it off so you can see it. It has a red dot that projects onto the piece of glass or acrylic that's in there, and you can align the red dot up to what the telescope's looking at. Easiest to do in the evening. You need to do it on something that are miles away, not yards, if you can do that. And you get whatever it is you're looking at centered up in the telescope, top of a tower, a unique tree, whatever. Set it up in the eyepiece, turn the red dot on, move the red dot towards on top of the tree, check, make sure they're both pointing at the same thing. Now when you go out tonight to look at the waxing gibbous moon, in other words, it's a waxing moon getting bigger. Think of wax on, wax off. Wax on is wax and wane. Wax means getting bigger, waning means getting smaller. So it's getting bigger. It was a first quarter moon last night, moving towards a full moon in about 6 days. And you want to look at the moon, you simply put the red dot on the moon and should look through the eyepiece. If you've done a really good job, the moon is going to be in the eyepiece of your telescope. And if that's the case, you just keep on viewing. If not, if the moon's real close or partially in it, you simply adjust the telescope just a wee bit and then move your red dot to where it's on top of the moon. And now you fine-tuned your red dot finder to your telescope. This First Light telescope comes on what we call a twilight minnow mount. It's a very simple left-right, up-down tripod. Very easy to understand, very easy to use. You simply plunk it down and look up what you want to look at, find it in the red dot finder, and go on down the road. Enjoy the moon or the planets or whatever it is you're wanting to look at. Now then, this tripod will get a little bit taller. We have it shorter so it'll fit really nicely into the TV shot, but it will come up a few more inches and make for easier viewing when things are up high in the sky. I recommend you find a chair or a stool to use so you can sit down and look through the eyepiece. That really makes it enjoyable so you're not standing there hunched over the telescope, and that goes for any telescope out there. So today on the broadcast, Amazon Live, we're also going to be talking about the First Light N114500, which means N for Newtonian, right? This is an AR, an achromatic telescope, so it's a standard look-through telescope. The Newtonian has a couple of mirrors in there that is a different telescope, has a bigger diameter, 114 millimeters in diameter, has 500 millimeters of focal length, whereas this one has 640, so you get more light, right? A bigger hole lets in more light, but has a shorter focal length, so you're going to get a brighter image in that telescope. We're also going to talk about the 102 millimeter, the AR, achromatic, 102 millimeter, 640 millimeter focal length telescope. Bigger area, a little bit shorter, going to be a much brighter, higher contrast image. So those are what we're going to be talking about over on Amazon Live. Pekka, probably best mount for visual astronomy and beginners. I agree with that, Pekka. Thank you for that comment. It is by far the easiest mount to use for a beginning astronomer. As you get into it, you start realizing how the sky moves, and you start understanding that because the Earth rotates on an axis, the sky appears to rotate on that separate same axis. So you can get an equatorial mount, which one of these telescopes we're going to talk about on the Amazon Live broadcast is an equatorial. Excuse me, equatorial meaning that it's based on the equator, so it is effectively a mount that you can use to negate the rotation of the Earth, and so you can simply follow something across the sky in one smooth arc. This telescope, you got to go up and over, up and over, up and over. The equatorial mount, you simply have a slow motion knob that you can turn slowly and make it just follow it across the sky. It's a really nice mount, a little bit more advanced. You have to learn how to use it, but once you learn how to use it, it's awesome. But if that seems daunting, you simply get one of our telescopes with the Twilight Nano, ends in TN in the serial number, and you will know then that you've got a nano mount. All right, we're also going to talk about, let's see, solar filters. You can turn your telescope. If you have a telescope now, you can buy one of our sun catcher filters turn your existing telescope into a solar safe viewing telescope. You can use it to safely look at the sun and watch sunspots move across the face of the sun. Something's really cool. You can see them grow, change shape, move, disappear. Really awesome. And because we're coming up into solar maximum, meaning we're moving towards more and more sunspots, that solar maximum is going to have more and more sunspots for the next 2 or 3 years. And then they'll start tapering off until they get to what's called solar minimum. So it goes solar maximum, solar minimum, solar maximum. That cycle from one point to the next is an 11-year cycle between solar maximums or solar minimums, however you want to look at the measurement. And so we're in the uphill, more and more things to look at on the sun. A great ability to see the sun, our closest star, in its full living glory, and you can do it really safely with a very inexpensive sun catcher. You can go to our website and search for sun catcher, and we make them in different sizes that will fit effectively any telescope out there except for the really big giant ones. And you can contact us, and if you had a really big giant one, we could come up with a way for you to do that as well and create one for you. So going to go ahead and sign off now on the social media broadcast. Going to see you over on Amazon Live in a few minutes. Would love for you to join us over there. And Pekka, thanks for the comments. I don't know if anybody else has been watching, but no comments have come through. We appreciate you giving us your time today. And thank you very much. Again, probably no broadcast Monday and Tuesday, although Paul says maybe there will be now. They must have come up with a different way of doing some of this vendor stuff. So see you over in a few minutes on Amazon Live. For Paul Newton over the control booth, I am Kent Marts at Explore Scientific Studio set number 2. Have a great one. It's in the middle. One can't be in the middle. He calls it 1. It's the main stage. We'll call it the main stage at Explore Scientific here in Springdale, Arkansas. Thanks for watching. We'll see everybody on Thursday. Goodbye, and make the rest of the day fantastic. Bye-bye.